we're going to start off the podcast and we're going to talk about Jerry the King Lawler. So, Jerry the King Lawler on Monday, he suffered a massive stroke, but I'm going to read off the update on Jerry the King. They said as of now, he's recovering in Fort Myers, Florida hospital. They said his speech is limited, but they saying with rehabilitation, he'll be able to regain full recovery. And of course, that he thanks everyone for their continued prayers and that he'll be back in the near future. So tell me your thoughts on Jerry the King.
Honestly, what I gotta say is very scary to see that happen, especially when it's someone you care about. So this is it's rough, man. It's very rough. But that's why they say you got to take care of yourself. But wrestlers are built different, man. So I'm pretty sure he'll be up and running pretty soon. And
Yeah.
one thing I will got to say though is I'm happy for Jimmy Hart to come out and actually see him, man, because he was actually, if you pay attention to his Twitter, Jimmy Hart was there visiting him and making sure you're doing all right, man. Try to get yourself a good friend like Jimmy Hart, man, who will show up for you when you need him.
Definitely. That's why I'm going to just go ahead and continue with your sentiment. I'm going to say my prayers go out to Jerry the King. I know this may take a little while for him to recover fully after suffering from a stroke, but long as, ultimately that he's going to recover, prayers out to him. And then I know for his family, that had to be a scary situation. But just glad that he's has the opportunity to recover, and hopefully we see Jerry the King in a much sooner time. Definitely got to take care of yourself though. But I mean, as you get older, these type of things do take place. So just wish nothing but the best for the King. Um, Let us start off with this right here.
What's up?
Seth Rollins calls out Logan Paul this past week. And we're believing that this can lead to a possible match at WrestleMania, Seth Rollins or Logan Paul. Is that something you would want to see at this year's WrestleMania?
I'll say it like this, man. Every time I see Seth Rollins, I get a good match. Every time. Every time I see Logan Paul, I get a good match. Every time. I'm just saying, hey, man, book it. Make it happen. Because I'm pretty sure we're going to get another 4 to 5 star match. And I'm going to get my money's worth. And I'm going to be entertained. What about you, though?
I'm going to say, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Like, of course, I believe it's going to be a great match. I know that I'll be entertained. But in terms of the value Seth Rollins has right now, Seth Rollins might as well be freaking our version of Mr. WrestleMania, like Shawn Michaels. So I'm like, Seth Rollins against Logan Paul. If it happens, I wouldn't be mad at it, but I just think Seth Rollins could face someone else that because I think Logan Paul, I think a match with him and John Cena, I think that would be great. I think Logan Paul versus I guess maybe that's the only real one that I want to see. Maybe him versus John Cena. But I guess Seth Rollins, that it wouldn't be a bad match. It'll be a great match. It'll be entertaining. I think you can do more with Seth Rollins right now. And that's just my opinion. Yeah.
You know what I'd like to see more?
What?
Ricochet versus Carmelo Hayes versus Logan Paul. I think that'd be dope.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, who's going over, I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to see it happen. Yeah.
I'm trying to see who else would be a great matchup with Logan Paul outside of, John Cena and then, of course, Seth Rollins.
He's already faced Rey Mysterio. It looks like Rey Mysterio versus Dominik Mysterio is going to happen at WrestleMania. Look like that's what it's leading to.
Mm.
So we can cross that out. AJ Styles is hurt.
Dang, I forgot about AJ Styles. That actually, AJ Styles and Logan Paul, how would that be?
Shoot, AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins would have been more interesting.
They haven't faced each other yet, like at a big like pay-per-view yet, huh?
They have. It was the early part of Seth's earlier when he was the WWE champion, but it just didn't live up to the hype. And I think if you give him a second chance, it'll live up to the hype this time.
Yeah. I mean, if AJ Styles, I don't know what type of injury AJ Styles has, but if he was able to make a comeback, against a Seth Rollins, I think that would be. I would love to see that type of match,
Let me see
especially
what.
out of WrestleMania. Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's see here though. Another match I'm thinking would probably be a good idea. This is why you need Chris Jericho around, because I definitely feed Chris Jericho to Logan Paul, and they can have like a whole beef centered around um about stardom. Like, oh man, Chris Jericho's like, yeah, I got albums, and I'm a rock star. AJ and Chris Logan Paul be like, shoot, all right, cool, but you ain't made no waves like I have on the internet, dog. You're doing peanuts. And AJ Styles has confirmed he has a broken ankle.
Ooh. Oh shoot. Then he ain't coming back no time. So he has been gone for a while now, but yeah, that don't look like he coming back anytime soon. Then
Nah. He ain't coming back.
and then I don't think Randy Orton's making a comeback anytime soon as well.
I
Before
don't think Orton
WrestleMania.
coming back at all, man. That's a bad back. You can't keep doing the RKO like that.
That's true. That's true. I think he gonna make a comeback, but yeah, I don't. He ain't probably coming back anytime soon, unfortunately.
Like just like that man said, I don't think RK Bro ever coming back, dog.
Yeah, that's interesting. But what I mean, what do you? How would you book the Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio match at WrestleMania?
Well, the one way I can think about making this extra, Dom just goes from 0 to 100 real quick and brings all the problems to Rey Mysterio's doorstep again. This time, though, he actually does show up. They beat the brakes off of Rey Mysterio again. And then on top of that, since we're in the land of wrestling, let's just have Dom and the rest of the Judgment Day kidnap Rey Mysterio's family. Why not? Like, let this be like a 90s storyline. Let it happen. And the reasoning why we do this is that Dom is like, look, Dad, I am tired of living in your shadow, so I got the best way to figure this out. I'm gonna cast a light and erase this shadow, dog. Get rid of you entirely, along with my family. Why not? Because now, if I get rid of you, this will all be over. I don't have to live up to nobody's expectations. It's crazy, but we're in the land of wrestling, so we can make it happen.
What if
At
they?
the following, yeah,
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm saying and as the following weeks go by, you get snippets of what's going on. Rhea Ripley being extra evil and shit in the background. I don't know, Batista bombing her like Ray's daughter or something. I don't know. And then and Ray's like, you know what? All right, I got you. You're gonna get like the craziest version of Rey Mysterio possible. New headgear, new ring attire, everything. He's going all out to make sure to put a stop to his son. And you know what I'll do? I'd make it a ladder match.
Mm. But who would you choose to win?
I'm gonna let Dom win, but it's gonna be in a very emotional win where he's all like, you know what? This ain't what I wanted. Like, I thought I wanted this, but this ain't it.
Mm.
And it could be we could even do it like the Rock and Hogan, where you know how I forgot, I think it was like when the outsiders turned on Hogan and they decided the Rock decided to team up and help him out. We can do the same thing with the Judgment. And
Mm.
we can just let Dominik walk his own path where he could be heel still, but just slightly different. You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying. So like back when pretty much Hogan had turned on Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and teamed up with The Rock after they match. I
Mm-hmm.
remember that. I would say this is why it's tough. I think this is what makes it tough. Like, of course, I want to see the Rey Mysterio, Dominik Mysterio match just because of the father son angle. Like, I don't think I really ever seen a father and son wrestle each other, and then Ray still being, Ray still being great and still being able to put on a great match. The tough part is, I think Rey Mysterio would want to put his son over. The problem is, though, I don't think for me and for most wrestling fans, they want to see Dominik Mysterio go over. Like
I get it.
the reason why is because unlike I know for me and you, we don't look at Dominik Mysterio as like, a bad wrestler. But some fans really look at him like a really bad wrestler, like he ain't good yet. So they would be against seeing him beat Rey Mysterio, especially at this point in his career. Um, so for me, if I was booking it, it's tough because you don't want to bury Dominik by having Ray win, but I just don't feel like Dominik is at that level yet to beat Rey Mysterio. So I guess the way I would book it is Dominik Mysterio wins, but is win by cheating. Like he has to cheat, like maybe Rhea Ripley, somebody from the Judgment Day. Um, but that's the only way I would book it. He is not beating Rey Mysterio clean for me. It is not happening right now.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
almost at the point of saying I want Rey Mysterio to win that match, though.
But if Ray wins, I would like for that match to continue on to like, I don't know, like Money in the Bank or SummerSlam or something.
Yeah, it's just I get it, to continue that storyline. Dominik has to win. If Ray wins, it's like okay, Ray didn't need that win. Basically, he didn't need to beat his son. So that's why it's like that's what makes it a little tough. You wish almost that Dominik Mysterio was at that level that people recognize that okay, he's about to carry the torch. We just don't look at the fans overall don't look at it like that yet. They look like he's still kind of developing into himself.
And I think it's really just a detriment to his character. And at the same time, though, I do feel like it's a bit of he kind of still do. At times he do still look like he need a little help in that ring. But like, you know what? I feel like he'll make it. And I wouldn't let him go either way. So yeah, man. It's the only time I can tell though.
Yeah, what if they pulled a funny angle like this and then somehow Dominic Mysterio was like, yeah, Eddie Guerrero's actually is my real father. Like, what if they pulled that back out?
And Vicky slides out the cut like, yes, come home, son.
Oh man, like all this time, he actually, to me, he actually looks like Eddie Guerrero though, like a younger Eddie Guerrero to me right now, more so than Ray. But of course, I haven't seen Ray Mysterio too many times, so like his actual face. So I'm like,
Yeah, you want to see a terrible time where you see Ray's face? Go watch yourself some late 90s WCW where Eric Bischoff didn't understand the point of a mask and told that dude to take that mask off. And I remember what happened. It took Eddie Guerrero and half the WCW locker room to explain, bro, let him keep the mask on. Bischoff was like, nah, take the mask off.
I actually remember that, like, because recently, or not recently, but a couple months ago, I watched the Rey Mysterio documentary that's on Peacock, and they were talking about that, like how for a good stretch run, he was wrestling without the mask on, even to the point that he didn't know if he should come back, like when he debuted with the WWE, if they were gonna continue with the mask, if they were gonna bring back the mask. But for him, of course, he wanted to do it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say like this: Vince like characters, dog. He was gonna tell that dude to put the mask back on.
Exactly.
He was gonna do it.
Exactly. Um, I kind of want to see Rey Mysterio have one last run still. That's why I'm like, that's why
As
I'm
a
like,
champion.
or just he doesn't have to be champion, but at least in that type of main event scene. Like Rey Mysterio has diminished his character a whole lot to me, and that's why to me, like, if it was up to me, I would push back this Rey Mysterio and Dominik Mysterio match maybe a year from now or a couple years, just because I don't think Rey Mysterio's done. It doesn't seem like he wants to retire. Like according to that documentary, it don't seem like he plans on retiring like anytime soon exactly. So it's like it's a little tough to me to really have this happening now because according to him, I think his retirement match he wants to have with Dominik Mysterio. But I guess you can always run it back. You can bring it back. So,
Yeah.
but I would like to see Rey Mysterio like in the scene again. Like to me, Rey Mysterio was he was one of the best wrestlers back in my day. Like when he was in his prime, he was in the championship scene.
Yeah.
And I don't think like he could. To me, I think he back in the day, it would have been a dream match to see a Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins or something like that. Now it's like Rey is not even in the question no more, just because of they, because of the lack of his presence being in that main event scene over the years. To me,
No, yeah, no. I feel you. I feel you. I feel like that's just the WWE fumbling the bag with that one. They also fumbled the bag with Jeff Hardy because Jeff Hardy was treated in a similar way. We
mm-hmm.
know he's main event. Where is he? And we know he can get the crowd going. But we're like, let's use him like this instead. But I understand a lot of these older guys in their older age are like, I'd rather put somebody over than do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because like not a lot of people get something when this old man wins. You know what I'm saying? It don't really help anybody,
Mm-hmm.
Because you need this business to keep going. So you need to have new stars, new faces arise and be ready for the challenge.
Exactly. Yeah.